About to jump here in the first race at Geelong. We'll tell you more about the big cup day in a moment. Here's Bruce Maccabee.
Perfect timing, Phil. Light on, racing, and away they go. Dream of Heaven stumbled out of the start. Ryder didn't lose any ground, but he almost lost his seat in the saddle, and last of all, Urangi early, and Reparoa back with it. Therese Payne takes Quiz Quick to the lead, about a half length to Calypso Star, Brahms Edition, Dream of Heaven. State Forest 3 deep, a length, What a Performance, Urangi. Back second last, Musical Rascal, and last of all, Reparoa. About 1100 to go, not a lot of pace on Calypso Star, a length and a half to Quick Quiz, a length further back, Dream of Heaven. Brahms Edition tucked away on the fence, a length into State Forest 3 deep from What a Performance. Urangi the favourite back third last, second last, Musical Rascal, and a length to Reparoa. Going up the hill, and Calypso Stars run away to lead 4 lengths, Quick Quiz, a length further back, Dream of Heaven, a half length, Brahms Edition, State Forest, What a Performance. Wonder Urangi the inside third last, Musical Rascal second last, and 2 to Reparoa. Down the hill at the 600, and Calypso Star a length and a half to 2 to Quick Quiz. Brahms Edition's had a good run. Dream of Heaven next, a length further back, State Forest has always been wide. What a Performance the centre, Urangi looking to get out, back third last, still the favourite. Musical Rascal around it, and 2 to Reparoa. On the turn and running very wide, Dream of Heaven's taken the lead from Calypso Star, who's hanging. There's a run for Brahms Edition, and Urangi trying to get up on the fence, and Quick Quiz with a good run. 200 out, Calypso Star still in front, about a length and a half. Dream of Heaven has a big break. Urangi finally getting clear from What a Performance and Musical Rascal, but Calypso Star's going to lead practically all the way. What a Performance gets second, third Urangi, Musical Rascal, Dream of Heaven, then Brahms Edition, Quick Quiz, Reparoa, and back with it, State Forest.
Well, first out, first home was the order of that race, Bruce. Calypso Star jumped to the front. There was a little bit of a mischance of Dream of Heaven, but that didn't put it out of the race. Darren Gauci, the horse slipped a little bit at the start, but Calypso Star, ridden by T. Barry, an apprentice, and trained locally here by Peter Simonson. I just say that the horse was just too good. It's hard to understand how it hasn't won more races. It's won 4 from 27, but that was a very good ride, very heady ride. Won it by going up the hill. Sometimes they don't go up the hill here at Geelong, but he went up the hill and put a space in the horses and was just too good.
And Cup Day, Calypso Star 485 and 120. What a Performance 90. Urangi 70. The first Quinella 1405. Trifecta 98.20. Correct weight on the first event. The up.
Result of the previous race here at Geelong on Cup Day. The winner Calypso Star 485 and $1.20. Second What a Performance 90 and 4 Urangi 70 cents. Quinella 1405, trifecta $98.20. That was race number 1. Short number 2, the Ansett Airlines Cup Day Hurdle. 2,800 metres is the distance, about a lap and a half, and they're off and racing. Being Bold was a little bit slow to begin. It drops out to the tail with Here We Come. Rantier, the first one over the first obstacle, and second placing Believe. Then Chief Lone Smoke going up wide. Maro Mucha put in a bad jump and went back to be about 5th as Peros went around it wide. Then Century Prince 6th, but one off the fence. Then Calibration 2.5 lengths to Enchon to Murrah. Then Being Bold getting back with Believable, and 2.5 lengths away to Here We Come. We're about to work up towards the top turn. They have a run of about 300 metres down the hurdle straight, and yet still a lap left to complete. The leader, as they work into the straight, Rantier, about 3 lengths to Believe. A half to Peros, third the outside. 2.5 to Maro Muncher on the inside of Chief Lone Smoke. A length and a half back to Century Prince, racing on the outside of Calibration. Now they're broken out by 4 or 5 to Enchon Tour as they come over the second one in the straight the first time round. Murrah next. Then Believable, 3 lengths away, Being Bold, and 4 lengths to Here We Come, and it's about 25 lengths off the lead. Exactly 1 circuit to go, and Rantier in front. Rantier by 2.5 lengths in the Cup Day Hurdle. Second placing Peros at the next one. Believable on the inside. A length and a half to Chief Lone Smoke. About 2.5 lengths away than a Calibration, Maro Muncher and Century Prince. There's only about 6 lengths between the first half a dozen or so. Enchon Tour getting back a little bit with Being Bold. Murrah second last, and Here We Come last of all. But it's about 20 lengths off the lead as they work along the back. And on the hurdle circuit, they've got about 1,400 metres left to go. So they're near the halfway point, and Rantier in front. Leads by a length. Second placing Peros, a half length away, Believe on the inside. Then Chief Lone Smoke has had a good run. Maro Muncher's under a little bit of pressure. pressure. It's going back quickly. It might have broken down Maro Muncher. Yes, it has. Century Prince goes up to be 5th, and now followed by Believable. Calibration behind those, and a break in the field of Wenshon Tour. Being bowled all but lost the rider. How he stayed in the saddle, I'll never know, but he's got no chance of winning it. And Century Prince has darted to the front by the 1,000. He's raced away. He's 3 lengths clear the top weight. Cheap Lone Smoke gets the second. Peros battles on. Believable's made up plenty of ground. Runtier under a lot of pressure. Then Believer break, then a Calibration, followed by Enchon Tour. Well back in the field. Here we come. Then came Mara being bowled well back. And the favourite Maro Muncher broke down with about 600 metres to run. Century Prince a length and a quarter clear. Believable in second placing. Century Prince jumped that beautifully and raced away. He's kicked away 3 or 4 lengths clear. Almost a winning break coming to the home turn. In second placing, Believable. Then Chief Lone Smoke, followed by Peros, battling on. He's running on strongly. And about 12 lengths away, Believers. They come around the corner. And the leader is Century Prince with just 2 fences to get over. He straightens up about 3 lengths clear. Peros in second placing. Then Chief Lone Smoke, followed by Believable. A long break to Wenshon Tour. 1 fence left to get over. Century Prince about 2.5 lengths clear. He's got over it in front. He's got it one from Peros. Chief Lone Smoke on 3rd placing, and Believable running on hard. Century Prince in front. He's getting tired, but entitled to. Well ridden by Londrigan and wins it by 3 lengths. Century Prince first, Chief Lone Smoke second, a half length away third, Peros. Then Believable a break to Enchon Tour, then Calibration, Believe. Rantia next in from Murray. It never got warm. Here we come was well back in the field. Once been pulled up on the home turn, being bowled, but it was lucky to stay on its feet, Des, and of course bad luck about Maro Muncher.
Well, Maro Muncher, for anyone who's backed him, he's over the back of the course. Michael Patton's still on the horse. I don't really know what's happened to him, but he doesn't appear to have broken down hopelessly. He seems to be reasonable.
Geelong race number 2, Century Prince, 2.20 and $1.10. He ran a new track record for the hurdle, 3.4.6, an indication the track is lightning fast. Chief Lone Smoke, $1.20, will be improved by the run. Peros, a battling effort for a bolter of $4 even. Quinella, $11.85. Trifecta, $462.50. And the race-to-race double, $31.15. And there's the big crowd here on this wonderful day here at Geelong Cup Day. And the presentation will get underway shortly for the Cup Day Hurdle, which was race number 2, and gives me a chance to say good afternoon to Phil.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Danny, and thank you very much. I was just looking at some of the fashions there. We'll be introducing 3 of the Miss Melbourne Cup finalists to you a little later on in the day, and then Sue Trethowan from down here in Geelong will be describing some of the fashions that we have here on the course for the afternoon.
Greg Hall on Compare, the favourite. Racing. Jumped reasonably well, though Prince Powell a bit slow, and Pressman's Choice out the back with Royal Chardonnay and So Mighty as they settle down. Panorama Grey going faster, just lead from Master Ken driving through. Compares right up there with Affirmative Action. Jack and Dandy just in behind those horses with St Leonard's Lad. Further back then came Marabou's Phantom, and back with it Malta Grain, Tristaraya. Royal Chardonnay's back about 3rd last with So Mighty just in front of it. Prince Powell, Pressman's Choice, and 2 to hold the fort, and Zamazulu's up near the front running. Going past the 600, and on the inside Master Ken just led. On its outside is Panorama Grey, 2 lengths Brigand Star. Compares nice and handy. He's had a good run. Affirmative Action, Marabou's Phantom. Then Zamzulu around the outside of Royal Apulu that put a lot of money on. Malta Grain being wound up running on, and Jack and Dandy and So Mighty. In the straight, Master Ken about a half. Panorama Grey. Compares moved up about a half length away, going well. Brigand Star, Marabou's Phantom, and then Malta Grain behind those. Compares gone to the lead from Master Ken with 100 to go. Panorama Grey, then Brigand Star, and running on Pressman's Choice. He's pulled the whip on Compares, about a neck in front, has it won, and wins by about a head on the line. Second placing Master Ken, 3 lengths Malta Grain just in front of Brigand Star. Zamzulu running on a fair run, and then Pressman's Choice one to write down in the black book. Panorama Grey, Jack and Dandy, Marabou's Phantom. Behind those St Leonard's Lads, So Mighty, Royal Chardonnay. Tristaraya one of the last to finish. Well back then came Prince Powell, Hold the Fort, Affirmative Action, and Royal Appeal heavily back was disappointing.
Strong on the turn, Royal Appeal. The gouch, Simon Marshall was trying to get something from it, but it couldn't go on. But Compare has won by about a head, but a little bit disappointing, I think, because when it was going to the lead about 200 metres from home, Master Ken, who'd been leading and making all the hard work up in front, he kicked back to get to about a head at the finish. Compares one from Master Ken, but the horse that took the eye in that race was Pressman's Choice, one of 4 horses bought by Alan Hunter recently. There's Compare getting to the front on the outside of Master Ken under the whip from Kevin Forrester, but Panorama Grey weakening. In the centre is Brigand Star. Malted Grain is there in the yellow colours with the black cap, and down the outside in the pinky colours running up into 6 posse is Pressman's Choice. But you'll find that Compare's beaten Master Ken and Malted Grain.
1-4 a photo, 1:11 the time. 1:11 Compare by Bletchingley from Seagull will pay 115 and 70 interim dividends. Master Ken 545 and Malted Grain 225. It will get third when the judge examines the print. Quinella Trifecta running double we'll have shortly. Another look at this finish with Compare going to win by about a half a length to a length at this stage. Has moved up past Master Ken. Hands and Hills Greg Hall. They're inside the 200. Struggling Panorama Grey. Malted Grain running on well to get the place. And the Pressman's Choice, as Des said, was a good run out wide. Compare is about a neck in front here. He's had to go for the whip haul because he realises that the horse is not doing much better than Master Ken, if any better at this stage. And on the line, he safely holds it again, Hands and Hills. And that angle is a little deceiving because Master Ken does kick right near the post. You can see Hall again. He wanted to relax on the horse slightly, but he had to just rev it up near the line. And it's got home by about a long head. And John Maher, the winning trainer, who's got a great team of horses, is with Keith Hillier right now. Compare at 115 and 70. Master Ken 545. Brigand Star was 490 the place. The Quinella 35.70. Trifecta 727.95. And the running double 595. 1-4-11 correct weight. 1-4-11 correct weight after the third. Compare the favourite at $1.15.
Among the fishing and seaside resort towns of Victoria, historic Queenscliff knows no peer. Queenscliff was one of the earliest sites of European activity in the States. All around can be found the historical charm and grace of an era long gone, but preserved very carefully for all to share. One important place to visit is the Maritime Museum, where history comes alive. Today, Queenscliff draws tourists from far and wide, and the town has built a strong reputation as an ideal centre for conventions and meetings. The Sea Road Ferry provides an hourly service to Sorrento just across the bay. Many tourists choose to use the ferry in order to experience the excitement of the Rip Crossing. Queenscliff, just 20 minutes from Geelong, the city by the bay. Some of Australia's most spectacular coastline can be seen from the Great Ocean Road, just 30 minutes from Geelong. The Great Ocean Road, a memorial to those who served Australia during World War I, had its beginning in 1916. Horses and men battled the Southern Ocean weather and the rain-sodden bush of the Otways to complete the project in 1932. It was a spectacular engineering feat, considering the lack of modern earth-moving equipment available at that time. During the early days, motorists had to pay a toll to use the road. Today, the Great Ocean Road is the major tourist link to Adelaide, providing access to the superb rainforests of the Otways and the magnificent beaches of Lorne, Apollo Bay and Torquay. The drive is certainly a great experience and one that should not be missed. The Great Ocean Road is just 30 minutes from Geelong, the city by the bay.
Compare at 115 and 70. Master Ken 545. Brigand Star was 490 the place. The Quinella 35.70. Trifecta 727.95. And the running double 595. 1-4-11 correct weight. 1-4-11 correct weight after the third. Compare the favourite at $1.15.
Often racing, one missed the start pretty badly, and that was Clean Edge. It dropped out to the tail of the field. Listerfield lad Zephyr Khan and Al Shillelagh sharing the lead in the first 100 metres. 2.5 lengths away, Prime Target going to fourth. It's on the outside of Yarrandua. A break then to Rumba Rhythm, and they were followed by Royal Malcolm and Candide in the centre. 2.5 lengths to Gaelic Sands, and dropping back to the tail end of the field was Clean Edge. There's about 8 to 10 lengths between first from last and Al Shillelagh in front. It's the one they've spec'd at good value. It leads by 2 lengths to Listerfield lad. 3/4 3/4 to Zephyr Khan, smuggled up on the inside. Candide fourth, a length and a quarter, Prime Target, then Yarandua. A length and a half to Gaelic Sands, making up a little bit of ground. Royal Malcolm under a bit of pressure. Rumba Rhythm's gone back to second last and 2 lengths away, last of all, Clean Edge. About 8 lengths first from last, and All Shillelagh in front, it leads by a length. Listerfield Lad gets away from the inside, now goes up to the leader's girth. 3/4 of a length to Candide, about to make a line of 3 before the corner. 2 lengths away, Zephyr Khan. It's travelling all right at this stage. About 2.5 lengths then to Rumba Rhythm, followed by Yarandua under pressure. Royal Malcolm was next, and then came Gaelic Sands, and well back on the home turn, Clean Edge. Inside the 350, All Shillelagh about a length in front. Zephyr Khan gets away from the inside. Candide out well. Zephyr Khan's travelling all right. It's tackled All Shillelagh. Listerfield Lad gets the gap. They got checked, and Nelly fell it, and then came Royal Malcolm. Zephyr Khan burst to the front. Royal Malcolm out of the pack. Zephyr Khan in front. Royal Malcolm finishing late. Zephyr Khan just in front and just wins. Zephyr Khan wins ahead to Royal Malcolm. About 3 away, third All Shillelagh, then Rumba Rhythm, Yarandua, Candide, followed by Gaelic Sands, then Prime Target. Clean Edge, Listerfield Lad would have surely run a place. Nelly fell and it's run last.
Down there because there was one seagull there in the end that came across the field, but although Zephyr Khan has won the race, there's no doubting that Royal Malcolm was a good thing beaten because he wasn't well served at the start, and he's just failed by probably ahead to catch on to Zephyr Khan. But Zephyr Khan was always going well. He's an extravagant galloper. Michael Clark was riding him on a sort of a long rein over there at the 600 metres, and it was just a matter of whether he'd finish off the race. He did, but Royal Malcolm, who'd been sort of slowly away and hard ridden 800 metres from home, kept coming, but didn't get up.
One of the day. $79,000 in prize money. Major drivers open 8.45. Our Classic Bay $4.60. Mountebank $14.65. 4 out. Bronze Knight $3.30. Eberly Show $2.50, and it looks like favourite. Exeter $12.90. Link the Leopard scratched. Secret Seal $23.25. Number 10 Flying Luskin is also scratched. Our Watchman $5.45, 180. Prankster $4.70. Search $4.80. So there's plenty of horses in the betting. 8.35 for Tristram. Its stablemate Be Reasonable at $3.65. 16 is scratched. Tall Strong Stardom Lane $34.10, and Tourific $8.90. And the multiple dividends for race number 4, Quinella $6.90. The race-to-race double paid $1.40, and the 2 ones and the trifecta $105. Zephyr Khan 85 and 65 cents, and those dividends are official with correct weight. Royal Malcolm $1.80 second. All Shillelagh $1.40 third. Quinella $6.90. Trifecta $105 even, and the race-to-race double paid $1.40 on 129 race 4, and just repeating correct weight.
The National Wool Centre at Geelong is the major project in the Geelong area for Australia's bicentennial celebrations. When fully completed, it will become a perpetual reminder of the importance of wool to the Victorian and Australian economies, and of the roles played by the people of Geelong in our rich woolen heritage. The Wool Centre has already re-established Geelong as the wool capital of Australia. The Wool Centre at Geelong will enable visitors to share in the wool heritage, to study the progress and history of wool from the sheep's back to the finished product, and also to appreciate the great importance of wool. The Wool Centre has revived interest in wool, so much so that elders have established this huge wool store at Lara. The Wool Centre project is a reflection on the pride Geelong has in wool and itself. Geelong, the city by the bay.
And Rogan Flemington got third. Pretty good effort.
Now he's set and they look to be right. Our Watchman the rails. Set, light on racing. Away they go. Major Drive began a little slowly with Mountie back, and away fast Eberly Show. Bronze Knight jumped out quickly. Our Watchman Prankster. Be Reasonable just behind those horses. They settle with Our Classic Bay and Search going up near the lead with Eberly Show. Exocet midfield and going forward. Mountebank Terrific back near last with Stardom Lane and Major Drive Absolute. Line of 3 at the judge the first time, and Michael Clark takes Eberly Show to the front. A length and a half as they are about to go out of the straight. In second placing Search outside Bronze Knight. Our Classic Bay up nice and handy, but covering ground. Mounty Bank very wide with Exocet. A bit of trouble there. Be Reasonable. Our Watchman both got checked. Didn't lose a lot of ground. Secret Seal outside. Be Reasonable. No pace on in this. Prankster's midfield. The rail from Stardom Lane. Tristram well back. Terrific second last and 2 lengths away last Major Drive. Everly Show leads them at the mile by a length. Our Classic Bay travelling all right second. A length and a half to Search next, and then Secret Seal 3 deep and Mounty Bank 4 deep and Bronze Knight the rail. Prankster following him a half length. Our Watchman. Exocet around the outside and covering ground outside of Be Reasonable. Then Tristram. Stardom Lane terrific second last and still Major Drive with them in. 1,300 out in the cup and about 20 lengths covered them. Everly Show by a half length to Classic Bay. A length Mounted Bank has had no luck, and going forward Secret Seal. On the fence Bronze Knight's having a nice run. Outside of him Search. A length further back then to Exocet and a half to Prankster. 3/4 Our Watchman. Stardom Lane the inside. A length and a half Be Reasonable. Terrific the rail. Outside of him Tristram. And 4 lengths away last Major Drive. Climbing the hill and Mick Clark starts to rev Everly Show up. Leads a length and a half. In second placing Our Classic Bay and one to Bronze Knight. A length and a half to Exocet. They've accelerated away these leaders. Then Search and Mounted Bank from Prankster. Further back Tristram. Secret Seal from Stardom Lane. Well back Terrific starting to make a run. Then Be Reasonable and forget all about Major Drive and Our Watchman. On the turn 500 out. Everly Show a half length in front. Our Classic Bay moves up on the outside. Bronze Knight poised in behind them. Coming with a good run, Prankster out wide and Tristram wider still as they make the turn with Exocet, Search and Terrific. In the straight, Everly Show leg, Classic Bay, Bronze Knight hooked out to have a crack at them. Exocet out wide and Terrific from a long way back. Everly Show and Our Classic Bay. Our Classic Bay's taken the lead at the 100. Thompson riding hard with Bronze Knight behind them. It's Our Classic Bay, a neck in front, and he's going to win a good cup trial. Everly Show second, Bronze Knight third, Terrific and Exocet from Search and Major Drive running on. Stardom Lane, Mounty Bank. Further back, Tristram, Be Reasonable, Our Watchman, Secret Seal and Prankster.
It's a race, funny sort of a race. Up near the lead, Everly Show and Classic Bay all the way. They're finished first and second, and that's about how the pattern of the race was. There was not much change. Major Drive couldn't keep within cooey of them in the first mile of the race. The last 600 metres of the race, he's got into it okay, and probably he's wound up midfield. I thought that Terrific ran a nice race from a Melbourne Cup point of view. He didn't have a lot of luck on the turn. He had to change course in the straight, and he's finished about 6th, I suppose. There's Major Drive pulling up, but as we said before the race, Classic Bay couldn't be fitter, and there he is on the outside of Everly Show. Bronze Knight had a saloon passage on the rail. He hooked out to give him a nice run and a clear run in the straight, but he just could not go on, and now Classic Bay outstayed Everly Show. Bronze Knight's there, Exocet in the middle, and further back is Terrific on the fence. Oh, that's Exocet out there, and this, I don't know, Search, yeah. So it's Classic Bay winning from Everly Show and Bronze Knight. Fourth was Terrific or fifth.
2:65 after the Toyota Geelong Cup. Our Classic Bay for Brent Thompson, 3:30 and 1:25. 1:10 Everly Show, Bronze Knight 1:30. The key to the race was that the first three all the way have finished 1, 2, 3 at the end. Slowly run race early. Everly Show accelerated at the 1,000, and Classic Bay was the closest horse to him, and the next closest was Bronze Knight. And like Des, I thought that Terrific was a good run from a Melbourne Cup point of view. He'll need to go into the Dalgety now and try and have a big run there, and he has got some hope. And the other horse, Major Drive, made up a ton of ground, but if he can't keep up in that, I'm not sure how he's going to keep up in the even bigger races later on. But he did make some ground. You can see how far back Major Drive is at this point. He is tailed off behind the second last horse, which is Our Watchman, and he's been a mile back. We've got Everly Show leading Classic Bay. Thompson's ride was absolutely spot on. Didn't miss a trick, did it?
It was classic.
It really was. With Bronze Knight third, Exocet fourth, Prankster coming around with Search. Terrific starting to wind his way through, and you can see Major Drive still last. So on the turn, Everly Show leads. Classic Bay is going to pressure. You watch Gauchi on Bronze Knight, hook out to give him a crack at them. Now comes off the heels of Our Classic Bay. Out wide, Exocet, A couple of lengths to Search and Terrific, and Major Drive made up ground. But here's where Classic Bay put the pressure on Eberly Show.
Yes, just maybe, well, I wouldn't say the hard track stopped Eberly Show, because it would have helped if it had been softer at Classic Bay, because most of his wins have been on rain-affected game. But that was a pretty good effort. The chap said he brought the horse here to win the Melbourne Cup. He might be far wrong. That's a pretty good effort, because they ran 2:28.8, which the last mile of the race would be pretty smart, because they did dawdle a bit in the early parts.
Major Drive making up some ground midfield. So from the Melbourne Cup, nothing wrong with the winner or the jockey.
No, he knows where the winning post is.
Sure does. Eberly Show. Well, he might go on with him now.
The horse there too, see that?
Yes, Classic Bay. He's come back with a broken bridle, so it didn't affect him in the run. Eberly Show, who knows from here? It'll be interesting to see what John does with him, John Legg Jr. And Bronze Knight, well, he's not a Melbourne Cup horse, but our Classic Bay is. Half a length by 3, half a length by 3, half by 2, half by 2. But Bronze Knight may now go for Bendigo, Kyneton and Ballarat, those sort of races, whereas Eberly Show may go on for the Melbourne Cup. Our Classic Bay certainly. Officially fourth was 7, Exocet, and fifth went to Terrific. Geelong Cup, our Classic Bay, 331.25. Eberly Show 110. Bronze Knight $1.30. Quinella $8. Running double race to race 5.45. And trifecta 58.45. Brent Thompson first. Michael Clark second. Darren Gauci third. Three great riders, Phil, after the Geelong Cup.
Mares handicap, and it's run over 1,400 metres. A couple of bits owing the centre. There's the light there, off and racing. Caught them fairly well, although Carol's Girl immediately went out the tail. Kilometre made one of the best out. Lady Sawano getting up on the inside of Jasper Maria, but the top weight's going to get across and lead. Lady Sawano settles in second, will get the box seat as Title Lady goes up on its outside, and Kilometre Made's caught 3 deep. A length and a quarter, Kameda Girl getting up on the inside, Campari Girl. Then Satin Red also out wide on the track, a couple of lengths away, Dell's Image, a length and a half, Sutherland. Carol's Girl second last, and last of all was Cosmos Girl, about 10 off the lead. The top weight in front, Jasper Maria by the 800 are led by a length. Kilometre Made in second placing, 3/4 to Lady Sawano. It's got the box seat. A length to Title Lady, a length and a quarter then to Kameda Girl and Campari Girl together. 2.5 to Satin Red, then Dell's Image, Carol's Girl next, Cosmos Girl, and Sutherland under a lot of pressure dropped out to the tail. Still about 10 lengths between first from last as they run up to the corner. They've got about 500 metres left to run, and on the inside Jasper Maria is just in front as they come around the turn. Title Lady second, a length and a half away. Lady Sawano under a lot of pressure as Title Lady took a narrow lead. Kilometre Made's out. Lady Sawano goes for the run up on the inside, and here's Campari Girl. It's swamped on the leaders, Campari Girl, and dashed to the front of the 200. It's kicked away from Title Lady, Jasper Maria, then Kilometre Made, followed by Kameda Girl and Lady Sawano on the inside, but Campari Girl's going to walk in. Campari Girl wins at 3 lengths. Second placing Title Lady, Jasper Maria third, then Lady Sawano. Carol's Girl made up plenty of ground on the run home from Satin Red, Kameda Girl, Sutherland. Then Kilometre Made, Cosmos Girl never got warm, and Dell's Image simply outclassed in its run last to the mares.
Some interesting news on the Melbourne Cup. Classic Bay has been re-handicapped 1.5 kilograms. He goes to 54.5. He's number 21 on the qualifying list, and he's shortened up to 10 to 1. He's now a 10 to 1 chance for the Melbourne Cup, the Foster's Melbourne Cup, but he was re-handicapped by Jim Bowler a few minutes ago, 1.5 kilograms to 54.5. Jim's statement was that he was very impressed with the horse. He thinks it was an outstanding trial, but the 7